Welcome to another episode of The Latest with Maya. Today, I am so happy to have a conversation with actor Griffin Matthews. Most recently, you can watch Griffin in the final season of You on Netflix. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm so excited to be talking with you.
It is my pleasure from Madrid. Hola.
So let's get started. What lessons from your childhood have most impacted your worldview?
Great first question. No one has ever asked me that. It's beautiful. Um, I think maybe the thing that my childhood taught me was the power of time and patience. I grew up in Pittsburgh in a pretty much all white neighborhood and school. And I had a lot of bullying in elementary, middle school, and high school. And I couldn't see the point. I couldn't figure out where my life was going. And I think it taught me that when people say it gets better, it does. It really actually does get better. And I think part of what I didn't know then, but I know now, is that surviving all of those years, feeling like an outsider or feeling like no one would ever really see me for who I was, it has helped me in my adulthood to know, like, sometimes even as an adult, I feel like people don't see me, people don't get me. But now I can look back at my childhood and go, okay, there was a time in my life when people didn't see me or get me, and that passed. And then I became more confident in myself and what I had to offer the world. And so when I have those moments, even now as an adult, I get to look back at it and go, but you survived, so it will get better. It will get better. It will get better.
Wow. Yeah, I mean I love that lesson, but I'm so sorry that you had to go through all of that.
Well, I think that everybody gets something. I don't know anyone who didn't get something in their life, something that they had to overcome, something that was difficult. That was my thing to carry. That was what I got. And I imagine other people have gotten a lot more difficult things. But again, what I've learned is that part of life is realizing that you are tough, that you are resilient, that you are strong, that you will survive. And I've tried to hold on to that. Every time I feel like I can't make it, I remember that I've made it before, I'll make it again.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. Um, so what small things bring you joy on a daily basis?
Well, I just moved to Madrid in August and I left Los Angeles and I moved here to sort of quiet my life and to experience Europe. And I think that maybe the best parts about living abroad has been I feel like a student again. Everything is new. The food is new, the people are new, the language is new, the buildings are new. It's just everything new. And I think I'm 43 years old and I have two small kids. And I think that it's been so helpful for me to remember that I am forever a student of life. I hope that when I'm 80 years old, that I'm still looking for new things. And so I think that shaking up my life at this age has been so beneficial. So I'm really falling in love with my life again in a way that I think if I had stayed in America, I don't know if I would have been able to do that.
Wow, I love that. Yeah, so if you had a reality TV show about your life, what would your theme song be?
Ah, my theme song. Uh, wow. Well, I've been listening to a lot of Spanish music, so I'm like only thinking of Spanish songs. But there's one I've been playing on my phone. It's called Contigo. Contigo. It means with you. Uh, and I think that I've learned how to be a better version of myself. So I think I'm a better version of myself to my friends, to my family, to my children, contigo, with you.
Oh, I love that.
Thanks.
Yeah. Um, so what is your most memorable moment from being on set?
I loved the dinner scene. It happens in episode 2. We shot it very early in the season, and it was the first time the entire cast was on set at a dinner table. And because of the way that the scene was written, Anna Camp had to play both versions of herself. So it was a 2-day shoot. So we were on set for 2 days while Anna did the scene both ways. And so we spent a lot of time together. We got to know each other really well. And I loved that day because it was a day that, we're all nervous and we're all trying to figure each other out. And when you sit on set for 2 days with each other and watch Anna give an amazing performance and Penn was giving an amazing, everybody was just giving amazing performances. I think we all went, oh, I think we're really excited to be here and we're excited with everybody's work. And now I'm learning about your real lives in between takes. And it was just like a beautiful bonding moment. So I think it was probably my favorite moment because it's rare on television that you have that many cast members in one scene. It's very rare. Normally it's 2 or 3 people in a scene and nobody else. And it was all of us except for Maddie, but it was all of us. And so I loved that moment.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, I watched the final season in like 2 days. I was obsessed with it. It was so good.
Thank you. It took me actually a couple of weeks to finish it because they gave us a screener um, to watch before it was released, and I have been such a fan of the show for so many years that I didn't want to watch the screener. I wanted to watch it when it came on Netflix and sort of do it like I normally do the show. Like I watch an episode this night, 2 episodes that night, blah, blah. And so I gave myself some space to just go. I'm gonna watch it like I'm a fan, which I am, and see how it shakes out. So I just finished last weekend and I was very happy with how it ended.
Yeah, me too.
Good.
Yeah, I watched it with the final season with my mom, and we were kind of talking about how we were wanting it to end. And so the ending is like what we wanted to happen. So,
Perfect. The ending was, strangely enough, the ending, I remember we did a table read with the cast. So we all were there for the final episode table read. And it wasn't how I thought it was going to end, but I thought that they ended it in such a brilliant and iconic way. The last line of the series is so iconic for me. I won't give it away, but it was just the best way that they could have tied a bow on such a long journey and
yeah,
such a beautiful and unexpected journey.
yeah, definitely. Yeah. Yeah, so what has been the biggest obstacle you've overcome?
I think it's been accepting myself. I've been the biggest obstacle. It takes a lot of work to believe in yourself. It takes a lot of work to believe that you are valid, that the body you come in, the skin you have, the voice you have, the sexuality you have, that all of those things are actually beautiful and make you valid and make you interesting. And it took me many, many years to really start to believe that I was interesting. And I am still trying to believe that I am interesting, my flaws and all, but those are what make me interesting. And it took a long time to really overcome that. And I mean, I posted something on Instagram for the premiere because I was wearing this yellow suit by Joshua Kane, a British designer who I love. And he sent me the suit and I pulled it out of the bag and I was like, oh God, I can't wear this. It's too much. It's too loud. I don't have the right body. Da, 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 da. And I posted that story on Instagram because I want people to know that even though I ended up loving the suit and I got a lot of praise for it, somewhere inside of me was still unsure of myself, unsure if I had enough agency to wear that yellow suit. And so I think it's always, for me, the biggest obstacle is generally myself.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So I am a pop culture obsessed and I go in stages of shows that I cannot stop watching. Is there a show that you are currently obsessed with?
I think the show that I've been talking a lot about that I loved so much was Adolescence. I lost my mind watching that little show. It was so brilliant and so culturally relevant. I loved the way it was shot. I loved the performances. I loved the storyline. I've been telling everyone you have to see it. I have two little boys, and so it was like an interesting way to look at what my children are up against in this world. It's a different world. When I was a kid, different world. Now they're little boys, different world. And so I loved the conversation that series presented. And so I might watch it again when I get a little downtime. Now that I know what it's about, I might go back and restart and see what it is again.
Yeah. Yeah, that show, yeah, Adolescence I was obsessed with. And afterwards, it after watching it, like I can't remember what I think I went from watching that to watching something else that was dark that then I was like, okay, I just need like something very light for a bit.
Yeah, I mean, I had the same experience. I was just like, I thought the show was so dark, but for me as an actor, that would be a dream. Getting to be on a show like that would be a dream. Even, I mean, You is pretty dark, but
Yeah.
it's so fun to shoot. So sometimes the shows that are dark are actually really fun to make, maybe more emotional to watch, but so fun to make. And when I saw Adolescence, because it was done in one take, I was like, as an actor, what a challenge, and also so much fun to see if you can get through it. And those actors did an incredible job. But yes, now something light.
Definitely, yeah. Um, well, if you haven't seen it just for something light, there's a new show on Hulu called Mid-Century Modern. Um,
Yes, I've seen the previews, but I haven't had a chance to watch it. Do you like it?
I love it. I am obsessed with that show. I watched it all in I think not even 2 days, and I've been rewatching it ever since. So
There are some amazing actors on that show, so
yeah,
I'm gonna take your word and give it a shot.
yeah, it's so funny.
I think it's kind of loosely based on the idea of Golden Girls, but
Yeah,
they've like updated it.
they've said it's kind of like a different take on Golden Girls, which I had seen a couple episodes of the Golden Girls, but then it was actually after my mom and I watched You. We were looking for something light to watch, and we were watching the Golden Girls, so then I could see like um since I the last time I saw it was a long time ago, that now watching it after watching Mid-Century Modern, I could see like more of the inspiration taken from it. So
I'm a huge Golden Girls fan. I grew up watching it. I think I'm older than you, so but I now that I know that it's based on Golden Girls, I'll give it a shot. I want to see what they're doing over there. I went to college with Matt Bomer, and so I haven't seen him really do a comedy in a very long time. He's done a lot of dramas, so I kind of want to see his comedy
yeah,
chops.
oh, that's so cool. Yeah, he's hilarious. in the show. I it was I took a quiz to see which character I was most like, and it said I was most like Jerry, which is Matt Bomer's character. So I was like, I'm not mad about that.
Don't be mad. He's beautiful. He is even more beautiful in person. So great.
Yeah, I interviewed him in 2021, and
Oh,
so I feel like I'm still trying to process it. Like, did that really happen?
yeah. He's very sweet. He's a very,
Yeah,
very sweet guy.
he is. Yeah. Yeah, so if you had a warning label, what would yours be?
I'm laughing because the first thing I thought was don't push. Don't push me. I I'm such a Capricorn that way. I was born on Christmas, and so I'm a Capricorn, true and true. Uh, Capricorns are known for being really hard workers and having a dry sense of humor and being really like on the earth, like very, grounded. But if you push, you don't want to upset a Capricorn. So maybe that. But I don't generally get very upset. But if someone starts pushing the buttons over and over and over again, boom.
Yeah. I like that warning label.
It's a fair warning. Everyone's got a button. And at least mine comes with a warning. If you push too hard,
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
would yours be? Now I want to know what's your warning label?
I'd have several. I think one of them would definitely it would be prone to anxiety, don't overload. Because yeah, I have a lot of anxiety. So also watching while I was watching Adolescence, I felt like multiple levels of anxiety, and one of
Yes.
them was thinking about I don't know, knowing they did one take of I'm like, if I were on that show, like I think I'd mess up so much it would be impossible to just do one take all the way through. So I was like, how do they do that?
I had the same experience. I could not believe they did it in one take. And I watched all the behind the scenes, all the footage behind the scenes of the camera crew and the actors preparing. I I I would that's the type of anxiety that I would like to have
Oh, yeah.
once in my career. Not every day, once in my career. I'll
Yeah.
take it. Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah, I have so much anxiety. My brain is kind of one big like yeah,
I
I just
understand.
constantly I feel like there's so many times I'm talking with my family and they have to tell me I'm starting to spiral and what I'm saying is like impossible.
I think that's pretty normal. Most people are spiraling these days. A lot of people are spiraling.
Yeah.
So, take your breaks when you can.
Yeah.
And it's also helpful when there's other people around you who you love and trust that they can help you come back to the center and say, "Hey, Griffin, you're spiraling." And then I get to go, "Okay, I'm gonna take a walk and pick a flower."
Yes. Yeah, definitely. Um, so what three words best describe you?
I would say passionate, humorous, and generous.
Like those. I think
I'm
those.
passionate about, thank you. I'm passionate about a lot of very specific things, mostly to do with people and activism. And most of my friends think I'm pretty funny. I generally play funny characters on TV. And I like to, as I get older, I think it's really important to become more generous as you get older. That you want to give freely your love, your time, your your energy, you want to give it more freely. So it's something that I've valued in other people. And so I've had a goal in my life to go, Griffin, as you get older, get more and more generous. So
Love that. Yeah. Yeah, so is there someone who, without fail, always makes you laugh?
yes, that this is easy. I mean, my children, I have two boys and they're both so sweet. My youngest, however, he's 4. His name is Apollo. He, I think, is an actor. I've always kind of known it. He's a performer. I've just known that since he was a baby. And he is turning into the funniest person. I don't know why I think he's so funny. He's just doing, I think, okay, I'll tell you why I think he's funny. He's funny because he's now realizing that he's funny. And so I can see him putting together his scenarios of how to make me laugh and funny things to say to me. And it's a lot of fart jokes and poop jokes. This is what 4-year-olds are doing. But it really makes me laugh because I think somewhere in me I can see somewhere in him I can see myself. And I find him to be, his middle name is Joy, Apollo Joy, and he brings me so much joy. He really does.
I love that. And I love that name. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what genre of movie would your life story be told as?
Well, right now I'm really into, I've always been into horror films. I'm so into horror. I love horror films. I've always loved horror films. But now there's this genre of horror, kind of like Get Out, and I just saw Sinners last maybe 2 weeks ago. It's this horror, but it's with a social construct underneath it. It's not just like a slasher film. It's always like films that are associated with some social issue, and and so they make it fun to watch. And I think my life story would be horror, but with like a purpose, maybe a little humor. I like to get the anxiety going, but then there's like a real point to it. There's a point to the film, and then you leave the theater and you want to talk more about it, and you want to go, what parts did I miss, and what were the little tiny things that I didn't see? So I think maybe a horror.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. Yeah, my best friend loves horror movies and he keeps trying to get me to watch more horror, but I'm just like I can't. I can't with it's not good for my anxiety. I think um I will let other people watch it.
That's right. You're not allowed to see any horror films. You stay put. You stay in the rom-com genre. Stay
Yes.
there.
Yes. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's why I want my life story to be a rom-com.
That was what I was going to say next. I love that genre. I'm a romantic and I'm funny and I like romance. And so perfect combination. Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah, I've always wanted I would love my life story to be both a rom-com and a musical. So,
How did I not think of a musical? I love musicals. I watched Wicked so many times. My children are obsessed with Wicked. Yes. Okay. So a horror, can it be a horror musical?
yes. Yeah. Okay, I'd watch that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
I
want to
mean, Wicked is a horror musical, isn't it? Wicked is kind of like
yeah.
it's a horror going. Did you see Wicked?
Yeah, yeah, I did.
There you go.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, I would definitely want to see what a horror musical looked like. So,
Mhm.
yeah. Yeah, so what subject could you give a TED Talk on, even though you are totally unqualified on that subject?
Oh, a subject that I'm unqualified on, but I could give a TED talk. So, like, I have to survive the TED talk.
Yes.
Oh boy. Okay. I think I could survive a TED talk about sports. I like sports. I like to watch some sports. Some sports I can't be bothered with, like golf. I don't know what golf is. I've never understood why somebody wanted to hit a ball and walk around a hot golf course for hours. I just don't get it, but I bet I could survive it, you know?
Mm. I don't think I could survive giving a TED talk on sports. I would just be making things up.
Yeah, I would do the same. I would try to make maybe my TED talk would be called I Hate Golf. And then I could just, survive.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. There's so many like subjects that I think I don't think I could give a TED talk on, but I could like talk about for a long time.
Yeah. I could talk about why golf on TV makes no sense. That I could talk about.
Yeah.
My dad will watch golf on television. It's like, could there be a more boring thing to do on a Saturday afternoon? That's how to put me to sleep territory, TV. It just no thank you.
Yeah. Um, I have one final question for you. Um, I love inspiring and motivational quotes. And this week, the one that spoke to me is by Johnny Ox. And it's, I see you for who you are, and the view is magnificent. Um, is there a quotation that has inspired you lately?
First of all, that's beautiful. Your quote is beautiful. Um, I think what I've been meditating on recently has been catch it in the whisper, meaning life is not always screaming things at you. Sometimes it's just whispering. And if you can hear it in the whisper, then you don't force life to scream. And I think that's part of why I moved to Madrid because my life in New York and Los Angeles was getting very, very loud. And I was feeling a need to escape, even America. Right now, our country is really undergoing a deep, deep, uh, it's a deep, deep introspective look at ourselves as Americans and what it means to be Americans and what do we stand for and all of that. And I think it was just getting too loud. My anxiety, as you've been talking about, it was going up and up and up. And so I had this idea to move, to escape. And I landed on Madrid. It's a beautiful city. It's calm, it's peaceful, it's lively, but then it gets quiet. It's it has helped me to take pauses, lower my anxiety, and hear life just whispering, like you should do this, you should go there. Right now it is 10:30 p.m. in Madrid, and I'm having a lovely conversation with you. And this conversation would have been harder to have in LA or New York because I would have been like, I gotta go, I gotta go, I gotta go, I gotta go. And here in Madrid, I can just chat with you and feel like it's just you and me. And I have nowhere else to be. And so I like that my life has gotten more quiet.
I love that. Yeah, I love your quote. I think, yeah, that's a great one.
And I love yours. I think it's really great to feel seen, to feel like whatever you are, whoever you are, the view is magnificent. I think if you're lucky enough to have people in your life that can reflect that, because it's very hard to see that when you look at yourself in the mirror, it's very hard to see a magnificent view, which is why it's so important to have people around you who can say, hello, you're beautiful, and you're more beautiful than you even think you are. It's important.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Well, that was my final question for you. I have had the best time talking with you. Thank you so much for joining me.
Of course, I am so honored that you asked me to join you.
Thank you. And yeah, I hope you have a great rest of your night. And yeah, again, I just can't thank you enough for joining me. And I've had just the best time talking with you.
Well, in Spanish, we say un placer conocerte, which means a pleasure to know you.
I love that. That's beautiful. Yeah. Yeah. And that's a wrap on today's edition of The Latest to Admire.